Hello and welcome to Just a Guy with your social educator, your LLB, your loony left bully.
All right, everybody, it's me, Mike D, Mike Duckenberg. Been a couple days. I took the weekend off. It was a long weekend. But today, we're going to get into the Pete Hegseth confirmation hearing, and also, just when you think California stupidity peaks, they raise the bar. All right. So, this is going to start a week of confirmation hearings for President Trump's cabinet picks. Today, we have Pete Hegseth. Moving forward, we'll have more throughout the week. This is exactly how you think it would go. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense nominee. Of course, the Communist, Socialist, Marxist Party is all over this evil, evil, evil man. Why? Because imagine this. Pete Hegseth wants to make the Department of Defense a department that actually defends America. It's freaking crazy, I know. All these loony left, anti-American, destroy America agenda, socialists, communists, Marxists are pissed off this guy wants to actually defend America and American priorities. It's nuts. What the hell is he thinking? Right? And just like in typical loony left fashion, they're going to do something stupid right away. Right away. Opening remarks. You have the Code Pink anti-war protesters. Their common presence on Capitol Hill. They interrupt a bunch of crap. Right? They're basically a front for the Chinese communists, really, is all it is. Okay? They come out, start interrupting Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing right during the opening remarks. They have signs holding up that says, no Hegseth, no crusade, and no Hegseth, no Christian jihad. All right? So right there, that last one, no Hegseth, no Christian jihad, that shows you that they're on the side of the terrorist Hamas, the Palestinians, and all those damn terrorists that wanted to see all of Israel destroyed. That's what this Code Pink is. Like, no. He's out for a Christian jihad. All right? So, right there, starts off with all these Code Pink anti-war protesters. They're not even anti-war. They're anti-Jews. They're anti-Semitic is what they are. Let's call them what they are. They're anti-Semitic, all right? That's what they are. They show up in the nice little pink uniforms, all right? First of all, you look stupid as hell. All right? Some of them are dressed up as the Statue of Liberty. They probably couldn't even tell you who gave us the Statue of Liberty or where it's even located. All right? You have another man shouts from the back of the room, you're a misogynist, you're a Christian fascist, before finally being removed. You have another group of protesters that accuse Hegseth of murdering babies and added that that's a recruiting crisis. Okay? So, he accused Hegseth of murdering babies. I don't know where this murdering babies comes from. Um, it's the loony left. It's actually the pro-choice, unless they're talking about Christian jihad that he's causing by killing Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists. And no offense, if you're hiding in a hospital or you're hiding in elementary schools because you're cowards, yeah, there's going to be collateral damage, and Israel's doing the best that they can to actually maintain the limit the amount of collateral damage there is. Hey, Mark, hey, say, how you guys doing today? Good to see you. So this guy gets carried out by 4 officers because he just won't shut the hell up. All right. At this couple times now, the Senate Armed Service Committee chairman, his name is Roger Wicker, Republican from Mississippi. He says, and I quote, I want to thank the authorities for the swift reaction to that outburst and state that similar interruptions will be treated in like manner. The Capitol Police are going to remove immediately individuals who are interrupting the hearing. So this is a common thing for the loony left. They don't get the way. They piss, they moan, they interrupt, they make death threats, whatever the hell they want to do. They burn down cities, right? So this doesn't surprise me that you have a loony left, code pink, anti-war protesters who's basically funded and run by China, there to disrupt. All right, so that's how it starts out. Right out of the gate, you got these loony left freaks trying to start some crap. Good job, Mr. Chairman, removing those guys. They don't need to be there. If they were, no, you could have been there with signs. You could have showed up in your ridiculous pink outfits and pretend you're actually military warriors or whatever you want to think you are. Okay, just shut the hell up and listen. Right? Yes, they are. They're very mad. Now, it gets even more ridiculous because you're going to have a lot of Democrat senators questioning Mr. Hegseth. And in typical Democrat fashion, they don't come up with actual questions. They basically come up with BS statements that have already been proven false and put them in question form just to make themselves look absolutely asinine. All right? One of the best ones is from Senator Mazie Hirono, or Hirino, or whatever the hell your name is there, Miss Hirono, Democrat from Hawaii. All right? Now, her line of questioning was he was drunk at work and claimed he would have shot protesters in the leg and would endorse military force being used against Greenland and Panama. Right? Now, none of that is true. In fact, Pete Hegseth does a great job at combating that. So, Senator Hirono, yeah, they always come to their own conclusions. It's just like the Biden laptop wasn't real, right? So, in her own words, Senator Hirono says, do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited? Would you resign if you're drunk on the job? And I'm going to remind you, your job is 24/7. So in other words, this guy can't ever have a drink ever for the entire duration he's Secretary of Defense. Okay? Now let me put you on notice there, Miss Hirono, where it's going to be, oh no, oh shit, I screwed up. Your job is 24/7 too, dipshit. So the next time I see you out having a drink, I'm calling for your resignation there. You are a congressperson 24/7. In case something happens, you need to get your butt back to the Capitol. So next time, Miss Hirono, I see you with a little martini or some other frou-frou drink or whatever the hell you're drinking, I'm going to have to ask for your resignation. You're drunk on the job. Because your job don't end unless you're voted out. So, Miss Hirono, next time you think about having a little drink, let me know. I'll fly to Hawaii personally, knock on your damn door, and I'm going to ask for your resignation. These people here, man, I know I'm a little aggravated today, but the stupidity coming out of the loony left, I'm not surprised. I'm not at all. It just aggravates me that a good portion of America thinks that this is right, that the stupidity coming from the loony left, that socialism, communism, and Marxism are okay. This is what you get. You get Miss Hirono. Okay? My favorite, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts. The ex-Indian who's like 1/100 billionth Indian. I think I farted today and it was more Indian than Miss Warren was. But she also wants to chime in. And this actually makes for one of the best videos to come out of 1,000. Yeah, close enough. Satan's left pinky finger is more American Indian or Native Indian, whatever you want to call it, than Miss Warren. All right? But Miss Warren, in all her intelligence, decides to jump in and ask some questions, right? And she's loud, right? We knew they weren't going to be intelligent. But at least this one, I'll give you this, Miss Warren. When you're done, I'd say do stand-up, but you're too damn old to stand up, so maybe you should just do a sitcom. But definitely go into comedy, because this is good. All right? She says, and I quote, "We are quite sure every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years, but you're not willing to make that same pledge." Right? Hegseth just basically just says, not a general, Senator. And at that point in time, the Armed Forces Committee and everybody in the audience just starts laughing. Okay, so Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama, Republican, he actually has a little fun with this when it's his turn to ask some questions. He actually jokingly called Mr. Hegseth, "Okay, General Hegseth." So now we have President Musk and General Hegseth. Okay, so at least they're having a good time with this, right? And then Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. He also was Hillary Clinton's running mate in 2016. Remember that. This senator here was high-strung about bringing up the infidelity in Pete Hegseth's marriage, and even in the context of sexual allegations made against Hegseth. Of course, now each of these allegations are also charged. They're fully investigated, and he was completely cleared. Okay, but yet this is what they do. They bring it up because facts don't matter to them, right? To the loony left, the socialist, communist, Marxist retards, facts don't matter, all right? They're just going to keep saying the same old crap, and all you're going to hear on the Creative News Network and MSNBC, who, by the way, just had their president and CEO step down because they're doing such a bang-up job, are going to play these little clips and not play the truth. So that's what gets stuck in some of these people's heads. They know that. They're not that stupid, all right? Senator Tim Kaine, verbatim. "So you think you are completely cleared because you committed no crime?" No, stop right there. Usually, if I'm completely cleared, like when I've been shown I've committed no crime, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm completely cleared. Just ask me. I don't know. And maybe ask OJ. He was completely cleared of committing no crime, but is he not innocent? Right? He goes on to say, "That's your definition of cleared," in quotation marks. "You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman who was not your wife, and I'm shocked that you would say you are completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife?" Now, what he's talking about here isn't criminality. He's talking about morality. We're going to bring that up in a minute, because Senator Kaine, I'm glad you brought up morality. Okay? Said, "And you can cheat on the mother of your child that had been born 2 months before and tell us you are completely cleared. How is that completely cleared?" Okay? So again, he's trying to wrap this up into a issue of morality, morals, and values, which the loony left is obviously very high on, right? Now again, Mr. Tim Kaine was Hillary Clinton's running mate in 2016. He has an issue with cheating on somebody's wife. Slick Willie, you were running mate of a wife who is in the most infamous infidelity case in the history of the United States. Remember when the president was in the White House and got his sucked? Do you remember that, Mr. Kaine? Did you have a problem with Bill Clinton? Did you confront him? He was cleared of all charges because even though he lied under oath, he was still found not guilty in the impeachment process. So were you going to go up to Bill Clinton and ask him, is he completely clear? I know you won't, because just like your transgender friends on the other side, you have no balls. That's right, Mr. Tim Kaine. I said it. I'm not afraid of you. You're a man that has no balls. You're weak, just like your potty, just like your loony left friends. You can find me. Come find me. Ask me. We'll have a conversation. I'll call you out too. Right? Mr. Hegseth, he's a little bit more calm than I am. Right? He just simply speaks up for his child. He says, "Senator, Her name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth. She's a child of God, and she is 7 years old. He goes on to explain a lot of things, and in the end, he says, I failed at many things in my life, and thankfully, I'm redeemed by my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Can Tim Kaine say that? We're talking about morals and values there, boss. Are you saved by the Lord Jesus Christ? Are you? Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, Republican Oklahoma, comes to Pete Hegseth's defense. Not that he needed it. He said Pete Hegseth did a fantastic job knocking the loony left out of the park. Right? He did a fantastic job on his own. But Republican Oklahoma, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, later on, obviously, comes to his defense. He blasts Senator Tim Kaine. And he also started, which, let me go back to it. So after he did all the cheating and infidelity stuff, he wanted to bring up the fact that, again, just like Hirono from Hawaii, he wanted to bring up being drunk on the job, right? So he goes up and he starts blasting Tim Kaine, who again started bringing up the fact that, what if you show up drunk to your job? Mr. Mullen responds, how many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? And how many senators do you know have gotten a divorce for cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No, but it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because a man made a mistake, and you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified. So from here on out, I think each and every one of us, all my social educators out there, let's sit down and figure out how many of these socialist, communist, Marxists cheated on their wives, showed up even for had one drink, because guys, their job is 24/7. They don't stop being a congressman or congresswoman or a senator when they go home to their districts. In fact, it's even more important when they're at home dealing with the constituents face to face. That's what they should be doing, not eating like $19 gallon ice creams and going to hairdressers in the middle of COVID, right? So we need to start maybe a write-up campaign and asking all these communist, socialist, Marxists to resign for having a drink anytime during their tenure, or cheating on their wives or getting a divorce. Let's see what their excuses are then. Guarantee they wouldn't step down. Guarantee it. You got a president that got caught lying under oath. You got a president that got caught lying for his son. Any of those step down? Nah. They don't care. Now, Mr. Hegseth, he has a chance to speak, obviously, in and out of the questioning and after questions, things like that. And he defends himself in one statement by saying the left-wing media doesn't care about the truth and is trying to destroy him because he is a change agent who will bring the Defense Department back to its war-fighting mission. Okay, that's one of them. Like we've already talked right off the top of the program here, guys. They don't like him because he actually wants to make the Department of Defense the department that defends America. It's crazy, I know, right? And Mr. Hegseth is one point. He already knows this, right? He goes on. They asked him if he had any special interest. He says his only special interest is America's war fighters, deterring wars, and if called upon, winning wars by ensuring our warriors never enter a fair fight. That last part is incredibly important. By ensuring our warriors never enter a fair fight. Anybody that's ever read Sun Tzu's Art of War knows you always want to outnumber your opponent. You always want to be stronger than your opponent. You always want to be outthinking your opponent. So by the time you even go into that war, you're not entering a fair fight. You've already won. He doesn't want to enter a fight where it's 50-50. He doesn't want to enter a fight where we're fighting from behind. But if we have to, we will. But his mission to see our men and women out there fighting, whether it be at home or overseas, is to make sure that that fight is not there at all. We have such an advantage. We have such an upper hand. We can minimize the damage done here to America and our warriors that are fighting for us. Okay? He goes on to defend why he was nominated and what the plan is underneath himself and President Trump. He says the Defense Department under Donald Trump will achieve peace through strength. You've heard that before. And in pursuing these American first national security goals, we will remain particularly apolitical and stridently constitutional. Unlike the current administration, politics should play no part in military matters. We are not Republicans or Democrats. We are American warriors. Our standards will be high, and they will be equal, not equitable. That's a very different word. Let's take the last part. Our standards will be high, and they will be equal, not equitable. That's a very different word. So let's just take one of the most well-known elite fighting forces out there, the Army Rangers. Right? The standards are here. If you don't meet the standards and you're here, you're not an Army Ranger. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, clear, whatever the hell color you are. If you don't meet their high standards, you're not a Ranger. Bottom line. It goes by standards. It doesn't go by race, sex, age, whatever. If you can't meet the standards, you're not going to meet the position. That's equality. When you're equal across the board with the same set of standards. Now that doesn't mean that the Army Rangers are going to have the same standards as the Green Berets and as the Navy SEALs and everybody else, Special Forces, Special Ops, whatever the different divisions are that have all these really high standards. They're all going to have their own standards. But where the equality sets in is if you don't meet those standards for that particular unit, you're not part of that particular unit. It doesn't matter who you are, how great you think you are. If you think that because you're 1/1000th of a percent of a percentile American Indian, you should be in there, it doesn't matter. That's where the equality comes in. That's what Mr. Hegseth says we need to do. I fully agree with him 100%. And I was never an Army Ranger, right? But if I ever was an Army Ranger, I wouldn't want my battle buddy to be an Army Ranger simply because we had to have a DEI program to make everything equitable. So we had so many black men, Asian women, transparent unicorns, right, in my unit. I want to know that that person sitting next to me in that foxhole or traveling through the woods or desert or wherever we're at as an Army Ranger or a Green Beret or whatever I am is just as equally qualified, if not more. Because I want both myself and him to come back alive. If you got a problem with that, and you like this whole woke Army bull crap, send your kid to war. Send them. Tell me how confident you would be knowing that the person sitting next to them is there because they feel the DEI requirement. Or because we needed to have so many, three-legged giraffes or humans that identify as three-legged giraffes. Because that's what the platoon needs. Send your sons, send your daughters to war, and that's the requirement. Guarantee you're gonna be a little pissed off about it when your son or daughter comes back in a body bag. You keep pushing that woke crap. Some other senators spoke up in his defense. Senator Roger Wicker, Republican, Mississippi again, Armed Service Chair. He said he was encouraged by the hearing, and I think that he helped himself immensely. Speaking of the Hegseth. Republican Senator Joni Ernest said she's already officially voted for Hegseth. Right? Republican Senator Lindsey Graham released in a statement, and I quote, "Pete did a very good job answering difficult questions today at today's hearing while laying out a vision to reform the Pentagon and to be the warfighters' biggest champions. Democrat attacks were overly personal and fell flat. It was clear Pete was more prepared for the hearing than my Democrat colleagues. Now, Lindsey Graham is a lot more PC than I am. I want to call them socialist, Marxist, communist pigs, but Democrat colleagues is the term he chose. Now, Hegseth could be confirmed as soon as Monday, shortly after President-elect Trump is officially sworn in. Right, so that could be about as soon as it can be in there. And other confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet are already scheduled, with 7, including Attorney General nominee Pam Bondi, happening tomorrow. So through the course of the week, we'll pick a couple of the bigger names for the confirmation hearings, and we'll go over them like we're doing tonight. Okay. So congratulations, Pete Hegseth. It looks like you're going to be getting sworn in. I hope so. Looks very positive. I can't wait for Pam Bondi. Can't wait for Marco Rubio. There's a couple others I want to see step in and want to see the confirmation hearings. If there's any of the confirmation hearings you would like me to go over, go ahead, put a comment in there. Hit me up on Facebook. Let me know. Those private messages or DMs, whatever they call them. Let me know. I'll make sure we go over what you want to hear. Okay. And just for the last part here, we coined a term here. We call it California Stupidity, right? Because that's exactly what it is. You got all the forest fires running out of control, and the biggest part of this reason is for California stupidity. Right now, if you listen to my last episode on DEI and California stupidity, it sounded like you hit a peak. But just like your loony left, your socialist, Marxist Democrats, communist Democrats, there's no peak too high. Right? Pretty soon, they're going to eclipse Mount Everest. So what happens? Governor Newsom, in all his wisdom, right? You got your cities burning down, right? You got millions of people displaced, billions of dollars in damage. You think that his focus would be that, right? The wildfires in California. That's his focus. We got a much more serious issue, guys. We do. We got a bigger issue lurking than the California wildfires. Right now, listen to me carefully. This is super huge, guys. Drop what you're doing. Don't worry about the California wildfires. Here's what we need to focus on. He reached a deal with state lawmakers to earmark $25 million to the California DOJ to use to push back against the incoming administration, being President Trump. Then they earmarked another $25 million proposed by state Senate leaders to defend immigrants against deportation, detention, and wage theft. That's $50 million they're going to use to fight against President Trump's policies. Because this is more important than people having homes. This is more important than saving, the environment, since you guys are so damn big on it. You're just destroying the environment. You know how much CO2 you're putting in the air by not putting these fires out, you Greenpeace freaks? You're not worried about that? You're not worried about the amount of CO2 and CO and carbon monoxide and everything else that you're putting in the air and destroying my planet? I should tax you for that. In fact, when you get your $770 checks, send them in care of Mike Zuckerberg, because I'm taking at least 25% of that in Save the Earth Mike Zuckerberg tax. Send it. Because the planet is all that matters. No. What really matters, guys, is we need to put away $50 million and don't worry about the fires. And we need to stop the evil Donald Trump, President Trump, right? We're going to have the California DOJ push back against sending illegals out of a country. We're going to have another $25 million to defend immigrants against deportation, detention, and wage theft. Now, this is super important. We've got how many thousands of people that don't have homes, on top of the homeless crisis that your state already has. Literally, you have shit in the streets. Maybe not anymore, probably burned up. But you had shit in the streets, homeless people in tents. You got thousands more that have lost their homes. But by all means, we have to stop the deportation of criminals. In fact, we're going to put another $25 million aside for that. So we're going to put $50 million aside to fight this, right? Now, mind you, as of yesterday, there's still 3 active fires burning, and at least 24 people have lost their lives so far. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's something with the name Wiener, right? Because you had New York and his laptop. Here we're talking about Senate Budget Chair Scott Wiener, Democrat from California. Now, this guy pushed to grant illegal aliens the ability to serve in party leadership positions. Okay, so you don't even belong in this country, but we're going to allow you to serve in party leader positions in the Democrat Party, the Socialist, Communist, Marxist Party. You need not to be an American. Don't worry about that. We're just going to let you, right? And then he also fought to reduce penalties for adults who have oral or anal sex with a minor if the offender is within 10 years of the age of the victim. Let me put that in terms for you. So it is okay for a 22-year-old man to have anal and oral sex with your 12-year-old daughter. A 20-year-old man to have anal and oral sex with your 10-year-old daughter. An 18-year-old man, it's okay for him to have anal and oral sex with your 8-year-old daughter. This is what this guy is fighting for, right? That's who Mr. Scott Wiener is, right? Now I'm going to read something to you here in a second. And of course, before I get to that little statement, of course he's for Governor Newsom's $50 million, all right? That's without being said. He says, and I quote, "This funding agreement cements California's readiness to serve as a bulwark against Trump's extremist agenda." So he's fighting against Trump's extremist agenda. Well, excuse me, Mr. Pedophile. I think it's pretty damn extreme to have an 18-year-old have anal and oral sex with an 8-year-old. I don't know. Anybody out there, is that extreme? Or is that what we should consider the norm? This dipshit is fighting against Trump's extremist agenda while arguing that an 18-year-old male should be able to have anal and oral sex with an 8-year-old girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? Extremist agenda. That right there, guys, is bringing the California stupidity to a whole new level. And you wonder why California's shit in the bed. People are fleeing there left and right. Except for illegals. Illegals are going there because, hey, they're going to earmark $50 million to keep you there. Right? Now, one man, California Assembly Minority Leader James Gallagher, Republican, of course, has some sense. He calls out Governor Newsom on social media, and he calls a $50 million deal exactly what it is, a slush fund. Right? So you got a few people in California that are at least somewhat saying left. Okay? So, but no, we're not worried about the wild players. We need to secure $50 million to protect illegals and fight against the extremist President Trump. All while we're going to protect 8-year-old men having anal sex against an 8-year-old girl. Good job there in California. Do me a favor. If you're a communist, socialist, Marxist in California, stay in your state. We don't want you here, especially in Texas. Stay in your state. Guys, that's all I have for today. Again, with these upcoming confirmation hearings, if there's anybody you would like me to cover, go ahead, comment, hit me up on Facebook. I am just the guy Mike Zuckerberg on Facebook. Mike Zuckerberg, just the guy. Either way it works. Let me know who you would like me to talk about coming up here in the next couple of days. And as always, I want to say thank you to each of my social educators. I know you guys know the truth. I know you guys know what's going on. I'm just here to be that catalyst to bring you the information so you can take that information and further keep America sane again. You're doing an awesome job. I'd like to thank you guys every single week. Without you, we can't do it. If you want to be part of the Army of Social Educators, just keep tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. Everything that we need to do to keep growing this Army of Social Educators where there are no woke generals. And no matter what you do in life, minor victory, major victory, you're going to step backwards. Always, always give glory to God, because without Him, nothing's possible. So I'll see you all next time. You know I'll pray for you. Love each and every one of you.